Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am thrilled to have you join me on this transformative journey. You see, every day we dive into a powerful conversation about self-discovery, healing, and empowerment. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery, where we believe that loving yourself is the first step to living a fulfilling life. You can expect insightful discussions, practical tips, and inspiring stories. Plus, we'll occasionally welcome special guests who will share their unique perspectives on self-love and personal growth. So get comfy, grab your favorite beverage, and let's embark on this journey together. Because it's time to embrace the beautiful person that you are. So let's elevate our lives one episode at a time. Now let's get started. All right, my beautiful people, well, welcome to Wisdom Wednesday here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. I'm your host, Nyomi Banks. And as always, I am honored to share this space with you. This month, we are diving into our April series, Mindfulness and Presence, a theme that reminds us of the power of being here and in this moment, fully present with ourselves. Now, let me ask you something. How often do you truly show up as you? Not the version that pleases others, and not the one that's shaped by fear or expectation, but the raw, beautiful, authentic you. Well, today we are talking about embracing authenticity, and I have the perfect guest to guide us through this conversation, and that's Kelly Saward. Kelly is a published author, a radio presenter, and a well-being mentor who has walked her own journey of self-discovery. Her book, Desperate to Be Loved, is a powerful testament to the transformation from fear and anxiety to self-acceptance and love. But before we bring Kelly to the stage, let's take a quick break, all right? It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on this Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back.
Ready to transform how you think about love and mental health? This May, join host Nyomi Banks and Dr. Will Washington and expert guests on Love and Mental Health, a powerful 4-part series exploring relationships through the lens of mental wellness. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Ask Nyomi, Bridging the Gap. Do you have a story to share? Your experience matters. Email us at asknyomi@gmail.com and be part of the conversation that's changing lives.
Washington Wellness Institute focuses on healing always. For me, if I look good, then I feel good. If I feel good, then I share the good. If I share the good, then I celebrate the good. If I celebrate the good, then I live the good. So I can be paid to be my greatest. But I have to learn the good to be the good.
So, what does it take to be the greatest? It's as simple as a free 15-minute consultation. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
Hey, it's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, and make sure you tune in every Thursday night to Ask Nyomi, Bridging the Gap podcast, where we talk about everything from love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more. We're bridging the gap between them all, and we even talk about spiritual uplifting. You need to stop by. Me and Dr. Mike, as well as the BTG crew. We have some amazing guests that come through. You never know. Just make sure you tune in Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to xnyomi.com and tell them Nyomi sent you. All right, well, welcome back. Well, hello, Miss Kelly.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm excited for this conversation. I truly am. So what I want to do is, before we get into this conversation, if we just take a nice little guided meditation, all right? All right, so listeners, you know how we do it. If you can just find a comfortable position and close your eyes for just a moment, all right? Take a deep breath in and hold it for a moment. Now slowly exhale. Inhale deeply again, allowing yourself to settle into this moment. Now exhale, releasing any tension or distraction. Now as you continue to breathe, I want you to imagine a light radiating from within you. This light is the purest version of you, the real, unfiltered, beautiful soul that you are. With every breath, I want you to allow this light to shine brighter, dissolving any doubts, fears, or limited beliefs that tell you otherwise. Now repeat silently to yourself, I am enough. I am whole. I am worthy of showing up as my true self. Now take one more deep breath in and exhale completely. And when you are ready, please open your eyes. All right, my beautiful people. If you are new here to the Season of Self-Love podcast, it's something we do every day, Monday through Friday, just to help ground us before we get into the conversation in hand. All right, Miss Kelly. So your book, Desperate to Be Loved, is such a vulnerable and powerful read. Can you share with us your personal journey of self-discovery and what inspired you to write it?
Yes, certainly. So I lived in a place of not good enough and self-doubt for a really long time. And with that came a lot of anxiety and fear. And essentially that was what was holding me back from being myself. And I always found it really difficult to speak up out of shame or struggle, embarrassment, and didn't really know who to talk to. So I would often write because it was a private place where I could clear my thoughts, move through that, and try and make and understand what was happening to me and why I was feeling anxious. And through writing, journaling, writing poems and things, I started to understand what was happening and make sense of it and accept it. And I compiled so many different notes together, which essentially became my book. And through mindfulness and meditation, I really enabled myself the space to be able to be with what was happening, realised that I was addicted to anxiety, which sounds crazy, but it became my go-to thing. I knew how to do it. It was easy. It was easier to do that than to be me. So writing really, really, it's just so empowering to be able to connect to who you are and just discover that it's okay to be that person and to, you know, speak to yourself kindly like we do to other people all the time. We just don't think we're worth it. And I share little bits of my journey through that in the book.
You know, that's powerful. Even when you said that about us being addicted to anxiety, that's a powerful statement right there. That's a powerful statement. But also, I think that so many of us can relate to that feeling. We really can. A lot of us can. So let me ask you this. A lot of us, we look for seeking love and validation externally, only to realize that it's an inside job. So for you, why do you think why?
Why do I think it's an inside job?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm really starting to believe now that, well, not only believe it, see and feel and live it, that if we don't find that place inside of us and connect to the love for ourselves, no one else can fully give that. And not only that, we can't receive it. Even if we've got people around us building us up and showing us love and being kind, if you don't feel you're worth it, you don't accept it, you won't let it in. So it's a ripple effect. So it's so important to come back to that place for you to feel whole, for you to feel amazing, for you to know what real love is. Because we search for so many things outside of ourselves, and yet almost always the answers are inside. So that's why I feel it's important.
Thank you. That's beautiful. So let's talk about mindfulness. How did mindfulness for you play that role in your healing and transformation?
Is what I love about mindfulness is I tried to meditate for a long time and I always thought I was getting it wrong. And I felt like it took a really, really long time. Whereas when I discovered how mindfulness works, the awareness of being present and noticing small things, which didn't have to be purposefully sitting down, I could really start to see that I can fit this into my life. I can take a moment to really be aware. I can step out and I can take appropriate action and make decisions based on knowing how I'm feeling. that might just be something that's moving through me rather than I am that thing or I'm consumed by it. So mindfulness was a really great stepping stone for me to be able to move into bigger meditations and make that more of a part of my life. And I just find it really, really powerful.
Thank you. That's good. I love that. Let me say this. There's a lot of people, we struggle with just being present. And I know when I started meditation in the beginning, I remember wanting it to be everything to be cookie cutter. When you see people, you folded your arms and you closing your eyes and, and you're trying to find that silence because that's what you think it is. You truly think that it's supposed to be just silent and you're not supposed to thinking of, that. But it's about being present, just being in a moment and just being around, just being there and not worrying about the future or the past. What's one simple mindfulness practice that listeners can start using today?
I would say my favorite thing now is just to be aware of a single point in your body that feels okay. Because from a mindfulness perspective and an anxiety perspective, if I'm struggling, if things feel too much, because don't forget, we're going to have tough times. Because we know how to meditate or have access to mindfulness, it doesn't mean that our lives are going to be easier all the time. It means that we can manage and move through things. So I try to, and I say this to anybody that I work with, remember there's always a part of you that's always okay. And just breathe into that, just for a moment, just check in and just notice your breath, just one breath, or close your mouth and just feel your breath go in and out of your nose, because it slows your breathing down. It's just amazing, really. The simplest things are really the biggest things, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So now one thing you say in your book is that when we build habits from fear, we lose ourselves. When we build habits from love, we find ourselves. Can you expand on that?
Yes, so I have spent a lifetime in fear. I had anxiety really badly for 20 years. My mum struggled terribly with mental health. And I've seen anxiety and fear present in a lot of people. And it's a really scary place to be. And when we allow ourselves to be drawn into those fearful thoughts, we lose who we are. We lose perspective. We start to disconnect, and suppress ourselves. And the moment we do the opposite of all these things, like express, have expression, connect to love, come back to that space, we step into who we already are and we do find ourselves. So I just feel it's that, the fear takes us away, the love brings us back, that kind of,
Yeah, that's an important shift. That's what that is. And just embracing your authenticity, it can be scary. I know for me, and I shared this with our audience a lot, is that I had bad anxiety to where it brought my body to where I'll black out. My body was shut down and I can hear, but I couldn't see anything around. And I remember going to the hospital thinking that I was having a heart attack. And it was actually an anxiety attack. And it comes at the most profound spaces. You can be like doing, just having the biggest most of the time. And it's like it sit right here in the back of your mind. It's like, wow. Like how can that possibly, for you in your book, what do you say about that? That one little, you got that one little kernel back here. I'm gonna call it kernel. That one little kernel back there in the back of your mind when you're having just the greatest of time and it just shows up. What do our listeners do when something like that happens?
I would say just notice it. It's the easiest thing we can do. Notice it. If you feel yourself go with it again, notice that you're noticing that. And then do that again and again. Because the moment we notice the thing, we are not the thing.
Yeah.
And I've done the same as you. I used to call ambulances or like 111 emergency. They come out to my house. I've been taken into hospital, all the sticky things on my chest. And then to be told it's panic. It's quite embarrassing, isn't it? I mean, it's so I hear you, and I think now if I see that I'm anxious or panic, or that kernel, like you said, that kind of like voice that's just trying to drag you away, I think, I see you. I see you there. Welcome that in. Notice it, and then it just starts to step back on its own. That's what I think. And sometimes you have to do it 50 times, sometimes just twice, but it's, it's important.
Going back to the beginning when you said about being addicted to anxiety, it's like you don't even know it because it feels like so second nature to you. You know what I mean? But it's once you realize it, you be like, okay, look, come on, let's sit down for a minute. Now what's going on?
It's crazy because who would think you'd be addicted to, I mean, what a thing to be addicted to. People are addicted to far more fun things on paper, right? So why would you be addicted to that? But it becomes habit, and that's what we do. Whatever's familiar, we can go there so fast. And I know how to be anxious. So it's the first thing I turn to is that.
That is so, seriously, when you said that, I was like, wow, I've never heard that before. I've never heard being addicted to anxiety. And as you said that, the picture in my mind was like, oh yeah, I had an addiction. I'm gonna recover, and for real. And this is just in all serious. It just seems like when everything was going right, and I was getting ready to go up another level, then here it comes. I'm like, what are you doing?
I know. It's crazy when you actually think about it and step out and think, and that's what the mindfulness does. It enables you to step back and think, hang on, and you can start to see what's actually happening rather than being stuck in it. It's amazing, really.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, seriously, I'm like, okay, I get it. I got it. I got it now. So before we wrap up, Kelly, what's one piece of advice that you can give our listeners who are just starting their authenticity journey?
I know people talk about gratitude a lot, but looking in your own eyes in the mirror and saying something that feels uncomfortable, it does make a big difference. It's so hard. I could never look at myself and say, I love myself. I couldn't do it. I felt embarrassed, silly, like always this big headed, all these things come up. But we have to acknowledge, and I would say if you're starting, just really, just look at yourself and think, I appreciate you. I love you, because the more you do that, the more anything is possible. Yeah.
Now your book. If it was one thing that our listeners could get out of your book, what would it be? What's the best chapter in the book? If you say go straight to that chapter, which chapter is the best chapter in that book?
Oh gosh, I don't know. The chapter that's standing out for me, there's a chapter in it which I didn't even know why, but it was called Mountain Calling, which is chapter 8. And I think it's really about possibility, because there's a lot about anxiety, there's a lot about leaning in and healing. But this particular chapter, it's not very long, but there's possibility there. And when I wrote the book, it was more so like, it was real good, like it was really nice and therapeutic for me. But I think really it's not a how-to guide. It's not a this is what's going to fix you. It's a you're not alone. You're not on your own with this. Everybody's feeling stuff all the time. And the more we talk about it, like, me speaking to you today, the less alone we feel. Just hearing that you've also gone to the hospital, to have these things, I felt insane doing that. Yeah. And then the moment you feel you're not alone, you because we all just want to belong somewhere. And that's what the book's about. I just want people to think, do you know what? I'm not on my own with this. It's okay,
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, I love that. And people want to be able to see a part of themselves in someone else. They do. They want to see, like, I am not alone in this. That is, because I swear I thought I was the only one too just going to the hospital for my anxiety.
Yeah, exactly.
Like seriously. And I thank you for sharing that with us. Now I have one last question for you.
Sure.
Self-love. What does self-love mean to you?
I think self-love for me is just welcoming and accepting every single part of ourselves, and just knowing that we make mistakes. Love that. We don't get it right all the time. Love that. Sometimes we do really great things and it's okay to build ourselves up. That's not a bad thing. I could never do it, but now I kind of just try and do a tiny thing. And I think self-love, it's everything to be who we are. We have to love ourselves. Otherwise, we never fully feel what love is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. Thank you for that. You know what, Kelly, I know we are at the end of this is all the questions that I have for you.
Oh, thank you for having me, Naomi.
It's been incredible. It's been a very good conversation. I truly resonated with it all, and I think it came right on time. Right on time. As I share with our other guests this month, is that, in the first 3 months of the new year, everything is always okay, go, 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 go. But then in that next month, that fourth month, it's like, okay, where do we go? And that sometimes we have to be in that present moment right here and right now to just really get us like a reset. You know what I'm saying? Like a reset. And even just our show we talked about today, even in our authenticity as well as our anxiety, this is just to help those to just check it for a moment. Where we can find out how can we truly be able to manage that anxiety that is allowing us to be our authentic self. So again, I thank you. I thank you for creating the book that someone can go and see themselves within your book. Is there anything else that you want to say to our listeners, and where can they find the book? Where can they find it?
Well, I just want to say thank you to you, because I just feel making connections and having conversations like this really does build the platform for us to be able to get to that place. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you for having me and welcoming me onto your podcast. I'm just so grateful. And if anyone wants to find out about me, my website is Room 478. Which 478 is the breathing technique. 478, breathe in for 4, hold for 7, breathe out for 8. Because when I was really anxious, that's the only thing I could do at the beginning. It's about it. That's the only thing I did for months. And I just wanted to create a room where everyone's welcome online, and so you can find out more about me there.
Beautiful. You just was talking about the breathing, and I wish I would have asked you that question about the breathing exercise, and you just hit it a little bit. That 478. Can you just explain it for me one more time so my listeners can know like what that's all about?
Yes, so it's what it does. So there's many different number combinations. If it feels too long, you can mix up the numbers to suit yourself. But the reason I stuck with that one is it was challenging me a tiny bit. And it's really good for sleep. And when you're anxious, as you probably know as well, night times are just very unwelcome, awful. Everything's worse at night. And I couldn't sleep. So you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and then breathe out for 8. That can feel quite long, but just adjust it as you need. And there is a little video of me doing it on my website, and there's loads on, everywhere you can access it. But yeah, breathe in for 4, hold for 7, out for 8.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much. And to my listeners, family, I want to thank you all for tuning in. And I just want you to remember that your authenticity is your superpower. And make sure you grab our free year of rebirth workbook. You know where to find it at theseasonofselflove.com. And until then, I want you to stay present, stay authentic, and stay in love with yourself. Have an amazing, amazing day. Have a good one. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovering and empowerment here at the Season of Self-Love podcast. Remember, embracing self-love is a continuous journey, and we're so glad to have you with us. So if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review. And don't forget to join our community on Facebook at Season of Self-Love. connect with like-minded individuals who are also on their self-love journey. Now, if you have any questions or topics that you'd like for us to explore, we love to hear from you. Email us at seasonofselflove@gmail.com and let your voice be heard. So until next time, take a moment for yourself today and remember, you are worthy of love, joy, and all the beautiful things that life has to offer.